Yo, 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 everybody. I think that's going to be my new intro thing for season 2 is yo, yo, yo. Last season, I got caught by saying, hey, everybody, for every single episode. So I think I need to switch it up. So we're switching over to yo, yo, yo. Shawn, how's that sound?
Yo, yo, yo. It sounds perfect for me.
Yo, 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 everyone. Maybe not everyone. I'll just say yo, yo, yo. It's Eric Thomas. I'm the host of the Smart HVAC Marketing podcast. If you're tuning into this episode live or in the future, thank you for tuning in. We are so glad that you are here. One thing that I've noticed that I don't do enough is ask people to review the podcast. I know we get a lot of people listening to it on Apple Podcasts. I see you. I'm able to see your stats on our little podcasting dashboard platform. So if you're listening to this on Apple Podcast, can you do me a huge favor and leave us a review? Good or bad? Hopefully good. Please don't leave any bad reviews because I don't make a whole lot of money off this podcast. So anyways, that's enough of that. Shawn Brady from Goodman. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Eric, how are you doing today? Monday morning.
That's right. Up and at 'em early today. Shawn, thank you so much for joining me for this recording of the Smart HVAC Marketing podcast.
It's been my pleasure. I've been looking forward to it. So yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah. So Shawn, why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself for our listeners out there. Tell them about the role you have currently at Goodman, and then a little bit more, I guess, about your background in the industry.
Perfect. I'm Shawn Brady. I work for Goodman Manufacturing, Daikin Industries. I've been there about 15 years. Formerly was a sales manager in Florida for about 10 years, and then I came over to the corporate side. I now hold the role of business development manager and brand director for our Liberty brand of equipment. So I basically travel the country talking to contractors and really working with them how they can grow their business and be more profitable.
Nice. Goodman's got quite a lineup of products, it seems. You know, they got the Goodman, obviously, Amanda, Daikin, Liberty. There's some others, aren't there?
Well, we keep our core essence of Goodman, Amanda, and Daikin products, right? So then we rebrand them for a couple of private label brands, one of them being Liberty and one of them being Franklin. So we don't have a lot of the many different lines like a lot of the brands have. We keep ours pretty simple, but Goodman being the #1 brand in America. So 1 out of every 4 installs in America is a Goodman system.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Sure.
That's a really interesting statistic. So it's like Goodman's kind of like the Ford F-150 of HVAC systems, I suppose.
Or the Chevy Silverado. It all depends how you grew up, I guess.
Yeah, or the Dodge Ram, which was voted what was that? They got the 3-time award that they're always talking about. So
3 years in a row, I think they have that award. So yeah, good for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, yeah, let's dive into usually we're talking to contractors on here, so excited every opportunity we get to talk to folks on the manufacturing side, just about the state of the industry, different ways they can leverage co-ops to benefit their company, and stuff of that nature. So let's talk a little bit about co-op first. So the co-op marketing stuff at Goodman, what's that look like from your side of the table?
Eric, I'm glad you brought that up, and I want to just clarify something. We don't have a co-op program. We looked at the other manufacturers' programs, which all basically have a co-op program, which a co-op is this. Hey, contractor, here's your money. We'll match your money here. Let's put our money together and let's go help you grow your business. We found that, we wanted to give the dealers a little more flexibility, and a little more ability to really use their funds in the way they wanted to. So flexibility. So we have an accrual-based program. So our dealers accrue money into a kitty. We call so in Goodman, we have the A+ program, and we have different programs for our different brands. But a dealer basically accrues from 3 to 5% on their purchases, and it sits in a kitty, and that allows them to go advertise or do SEO or wrap their trucks. And we have all kinds of things they can use to grow their business. But ours is accrual based.
Nice. Yeah. So the traditional co-op, like you were just explaining, I feel like I've run into this now, because we are a marketing agency. So, we've worked with several manufacturers in the past on co-op related stuff. And one of the biggest challenges that I find with that is, for us, they're like, well, you have to use the manufacturer. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but you have to use the brand name in X, Y, and Z headlines on your Google ads. You have to put the logo here. You have to use these images or whatever it may be. So it kind of restricts you from a brand standpoint um, in some of your call to actions and in some of your marketing collateral. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I spend a lot of time traveling the country, and I ride with the sales managers around the country, and I ask them to set up appointments. I say, listen, I want you to set these appointments up at the contractor's office, because when you pull up to a contractor's office, you see a lot of things, and a lot of things are those sign, and I can tell immediately what kind of a dealer they are by the sign, because you'll have Bob's Air Conditioning or Bob's HVAC, but is the brand above that bigger in name, or is he really the brand there? So you can sometimes see a manufacturer's name really bigger than the brand. And I guess the point of what I'm trying to get to is this: at Goodman, we really don't want that to be the way. We want them to be the brand, the dealer to be the brand. So, we don't really push a lot of rules like that, and we kind of give them the freedom. So, yeah, I see a lot of the other brands in SEO or website design where it really pushes the manufacturer. We really don't want that. We want to push the brand dealer.
Yeah. So what's some advice that you could, I guess, shed some light on to contractors in regards to being their own brand? What's some stuff that they could do?
Well, first thing, when you walk into home and they get a call, for a homeowner calls them and says, I need you to come out and look at my system. I think it's time to get a new system for the house. So Joe contractor comes up, pulls in the house. And at that point in time, from the time they pull in the driveway or pull in the street in front of the house, the time they knock on the door, to the time they get in the house, it really is an opportune time to not only talk about brand, but to talk about feature sets. And to get to that point, they need to spend a little bit of time with that homeowner and ask them questions. I find if they ask, the more questions they ask for the homeowner, it really helps them determine the best system for that house, not so much brand. So it really is important to really ask those questions, find out the feature set that's important to that homeowner, and that'll help them determine how to sell. And when they sell, they're selling a feature set and benefits and warranties. Now, they're not selling Goodman or Carrier or Train. They're saying, listen, here's what's best for your house. And what's really mind-blowing at that point in time is this: the homeowner rarely even asks what the brand is. They go, well, thanks, contractor. I appreciate that. It sounds like the best option for me. And maybe at the end they go, well, by the way, what was the brand we're getting? And at that point in time, it's already sold.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something that I feel like we've talked about on the show before. And I don't remember who I was talking to, on the episode with about this topic, but like in the eyes of the homeowner, like you were saying, they care about the features, advantages, benefits. They care about the warranty. They care about cold air and warm air, and they care about their energy bills, and they care about how much it's going to cost too. So obviously that's where you can have like the financing and stuff that plays into it. But they don't. This is something that on the contractor side of the world, they're like, Daikin's the best, Train's the best, Carrier's the best, Lennox is the best. And they all kind of, argue with each other. And I get it, it's industry stuff. And, on the marketing side of the world, we argue over the best website, CMS and the best different tools for whatever. And so everyone does that. But in the eyes of the consumer, cold air is cold air, and a working thermostat is a working thermostat. And they want to know, what the advantage is for them. What do they get out of it?
For sure. Look at it this way. Take all the manufacturers and line them all up. We all use the same capacitors, contactors, and basically all use the same compressors. We have a lot of similar components. But I say to contractors and to homeowners alike, it's what happens when something goes wrong in an install or even on equipment, and who's going to stand behind you, which manufacturer. And so that's what it really comes down to: who has the best warranties in the business and who's going to stand behind you. And obviously we believe that at Goodman and Daikin, we have the best warranties and the best effort to stand behind our contractors.
Yeah. So something that I've kind of been, stirring up and talking about a little bit lately is the shift in loyalty to particular manufacturers over the past year because of equipment shortages, because of changes to co-op, and whatever it may be. So now you see people who were traditionally, always going and selling a particular brand, now selling, extra, whatever they can get their hands on, essentially. And so it changes a little bit of their co-op too, as well. So what have you been seeing in regards to like equipment shortages and stuff like that over the past year?
Well, there's no way around that one. We all are experiencing equipment shortages, and certainly us here at Daikin and Goodman, we have felt the same pain. So it's crazy to go to our factory right now and look at the parking lot, and it's just full. You can't find a parking spot. We've got thousands of employees in our warehouse every day, or excuse me, in our factory every day. I mean, this is the third biggest factory in America. Well, all we do is pump out HVAC equipment, and we're running 3 shifts, and we still. It's crazy how the demand is just so strong right now. There was a time when we couldn't get people in the warehouse because of the factory, because of COVID and the different rules. The people are back, and the demand in America right now is stronger, and in Canada too is stronger than it's ever been. So you look at the huge demand now, and we're still playing catch up, and it's been a struggle for sure.
Yeah. How do you see this? I mean, I'm sure that there's about to be another wave of shortages with, with the cold season on the horizon, and the demand for, furnaces and stuff like that about to, rise. What do you see in that regard? Do you foresee another, big shortage coming up?
I wouldn't call it a big shortage, but I see some definite needs in the HVAC market when it comes to furnaces. So, our northern part of America, and also in Canada, where we use a lot of gas furnaces. So we're going to feel a little of that pinch for this winter, and I believe that'll be the last of it for the industry, and certainly for us here at Goodman. So getting through this winter is going to be our challenge, and we have the right people in the right places right now, and the factory's running at full steam.
Yeah. So what areas of the country did you guys see like were affected differently, better or worse during during the past year or so with equipment?
We have these different marketplaces here in America. So I worked in Florida for a long time, which is straight cool AC with electric heat air handler. That's the market there.
Mhm.
About 20% furnace, and I would say about 25% heat pump in the state of Florida. So, we really saw a real hurt in the heat pump market. So, we're just got caught up now. We're really getting to a point in time where we're in a good position now on a lot of these aspects. But now we're really trying to pump out the furnaces in certain markets. So every market has a little bit different, and our southern market is obviously our busiest market. So Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, that's where we do a lot of our business down there, because, the average lifespan of a HVAC system down there is a lot shorter. So every market's got a little different. I think we're looking really good now as far as our cooling aspect. We're really trying to play catch up with the furnaces right now.
Yeah. So do you see like I guess like because that's something that would probably hurt the northern markets a little bit more, is the furnace stuff. Like, are there a lot of markets, I guess, up like New England area, up north, like Michigan area? Do they really hurt with the furnace stuff, or do they need, I guess, more um, of a different type of, I guess, system for what they're doing, like heat pumps or whatever?
See, the thing is, for a homeowner, if they have a heat pump or a furnace system, they're most likely going to get exactly the same thing. So if you've got a gas furnace, you're most likely going to stick with the gas furnace. You don't want to
Mhm.
go out of that and get a heat pump. So heat furnace markets are going to, they're going to have a little more of a pinch than the heat pump markets right now as we come into our cooling season. So, I live in Northern California, and my heat came on 2 days ago, and 2 days before that, the AC was on. So we're getting to that point in time where it's getting a little cooler at night. So now we're really trying to push the furnace market out there. So I would say, the farther north you go, the more furnaces there are, the more of a pinch you're going to feel.
Yeah. So talking about that, like, this is the time of year I feel like, especially, in that area of the United States that kind of runs like straight through the country. You get, for example, here in Virginia, in the morning time, we're looking right now about 50, 55 degrees outside, maybe
Yeah.
60 degrees, little brisk, little cold outside. By 1 o'clock, we're in the mid to upper 70s. So morning time, it's chilly. Evening time, or mid afternoon, evening time, it's warmer. So we need, sometimes some homeowners need heat and cooling during the same day, and this is often referred to as the shoulder season, where it's kind of like there's not really an explicit extreme of heat or cooling needs. So what's some advice that you would give to a contractor during this time to keep their technicians busy?
I'm glad you brought this up, Eric. And I can't preach this enough. This is the time of season for contractors who've sold maintenance agreements to be out looking at their homeowner systems. So, I can't preach enough that, the real value in a contractor's business, if they ever want to sell it, or be that as it may like that, is how many maintenance agreements you have in your company. And as you sell systems, or as you go out and do service calls or maintenance calls on equipment, it's a great opportunity to sell a maintenance agreement to those homeowners, whether that's one visits or ideally 2 visits a year. So if you're seeing your homeowners every shoulder season, so the September, October timeline, and then around the April, May timeline. So before you cool the house, before you heat the house, really, those are great opportunities to really visit with your homeowners, touch them, talk about what's new in the industry, and really keep that relationship going with your homeowner. because I tell you what, look at it this way: it's a KPI in the industry. 1 out of every 10 to 12 maintenance agreements you have with homeowners will buy a system from you every year. So as you go on service calls and sell more of these, you really can help, build your business.
I didn't know that 1 out of 12 would. I guess that makes sense because the age of the equipment in their home, the age in their house or the homeowners. I guess the time they've lived in the home, it varies, and I think I was thinking about this a few weeks ago about like maintenance agreements because you're right. Like if you want to sell your business, the thing that people actually care about is your maintenance agreements. They care about your customers, your customer
Yeah.
base. They don't care about your trucks and your website and all this other stuff. They care about how many service agreements you've got, how many customers they can immediately start working with. So I think like the average maintenance agreement, the average service agreements between $250 a year. Then if we say the average system is 10 to 13 years in lifespan or so, you're gonna make about $3,800 on that customer before a replacement. And if a replacement's about $8,500, the lifetime value of that customer is $11,000-$12,000, and that's before the value-based upsells and all this other stuff that you may be able to offer, like indoor air quality, duct replacement, stuff like that. So I think if people could begin thinking about the lifetime value of a customer versus the $22.50 a month that they're paying for their service agreement, they would really begin to see the value in getting people signed up for it.
You're 100% right. And all the things you say there. And it's just, all these things build up to value your business and selling more equipment and really tying yourself to a homeowner. Because when you sell, if you go in and sell a new system to a homeowner, and you offer them a 10-year parts, 10-year labor, 10-year maintenance agreement, and 10-year unit replacement, put all these things together to a homeowner, they can't say no. So, really add the value at the home. And I can't preach this enough. The most important thing, the way to sell more maintenance agreements is through a flat rate pricing system for your service techs, whether that be with one of our larger vendors or you have your own little system at home. But when you sit in front of a homeowner and you go in to make a repair and you say the repair is $500, but I can give it to you today for $350 if you join our club. Well, how's that work? Well, it costs you $200 and we come out twice a year. We offer you this 21-point inspection twice a year. Well, that's great. And if you really look at everybody's warranty from Goodman to Carrier to Train, all of us have the same nomenclature in our warranties. It says this piece of equipment is warranted with proper preventative maintenance. Everybody says that. So the key is, listen, Mr. Homeowner, I need to be out here maintaining the system. And it's true. If you're maintaining a system as a contractor, that system's going to run for a lot longer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, I think the flat rate for stuff, and I know that there's, you and I met at Service World Expo.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that was an awesome event. If you're attending next year, we will be back and we'll see you there. But you and I met there, and there was several booths there that were, offering this type of service, this type of flat rate coaching. It's a new, kind of a new way of selling your service and your products and services to customers. And I think that that's really the way to go. I mean, I think this isn't a new concept either. This is something that they, Dick's Sporting Goods does this. Like all these different stores do this type of service where it's like, well, you can get this purchase for free today if you sign up for our credit card or whatever it may be. Like you're giving it to them at a value almost. But what you're doing is you're getting a lifelong customer out of it.
It's so true. So look at it this way. What if I'm the homeowner and my AC system's not running? My furnace or my outdoor, indoor, doesn't matter what it is. It's not running. So I'm going to call a few contractors in the local marketplace and I'm going to say, hey, how much you guys charge to come out and look at my system? It's not running. You're going to get an hourly rate from a lot of people. Or you just say that. What if you said this to the homeowner? We don't have hourly rate pricing. We use flat rate pricing like the automotive industry. We come out and evaluate your system, and then we'll determine that on per piece, not on an hourly rate. So you don't have to pay extra time for us if it takes longer. So it's a basic flat rate system for you like the automotive industry. People can relate to that because we've all went to get our car fixed, and it's right up there on that board how much it costs to repair that, no matter how long it takes that mechanic to do it. So it's a good way to look at it. And I think a lot of people can relate to that fact when they talk about automotive industry. But yeah, there's so many vendors, like you said, at Service World Expo. when I was a young TM 15 years ago, I would print my own flat rate books out, and I would spend time with the contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And the key to all of that really is trying to determine what their real hourly rate should be that we plug into that system. Because I find most contractors are underpricing their efforts. And if we really look at the service side of the business, that's where a contractor's business is going to fail or going to grow. Because if your service side is making money, the rest of it's going to make money always.
Yeah, absolutely. And the flat rate thing as well. There is an author out there of a book. The book's called "They Ask You Answer." I think it's written by Marcus Sheridan, and pretty much this. He's a marketer and a salesperson, obviously, and he found success by telling people exactly what they want to know on the internet, pretty much, versus the old school way of contact us now to find out more about how much this costs. Like, people want to know how much it costs. They want to know what's included. They want to know. So he made pretty much his success in the industry that he was in, which I believe was like custom pools, pool remodeling, stuff like that. And he found his success by turning on his camera and saying, "Hey, if you want your pool pump replaced, it's going to be this much. Bottom line, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a flat rate system." So you could do that too. And now you can start putting this on your website. You could put this on Facebook. You could say, "Hey, if you want X, Y, and Z repaired, it's going to be $250. Do you want this or no?" And then the homeowner is like, "Oh, that's how much it's going to cost," versus calling 5 other Chucks and trying to, figure out a price, which is going to require a visit and an inspection and a diagnostic fee and all this other riffraff. And that's why I think that people could really, really benefit by doing that.
For sure. What if you said to the homeowner, "Listen, I guarantee all my repairs are for 1 year or for 2 years or for 5 years, depending on what you want to do in that business." That's a lot of things when you offer that little bit of a discount on a service call to join our club. And you say to them, "Listen, you're going to come to the front of the line. You never pay overtime with us. We guarantee our repairs for 2 years, and you belong to this club." People want to belong to clubs. So, you get the monthly newsletter, you get all these things. So, and that person is definitely going to buy from that contractor as time moves forward.
Yeah. So let's talk about a few ideas that contractors could do with these, comfort clubs or whatever whatever creative name you come up for your service agreement customers. Like you were saying, people want to feel like they belong. They want to feel like they're a part of the club. Have you seen any cool ideas that dealers have done in the past or contractors have done in the past where like they get their club involved in the brand somehow?
I kind of briefly hit on this a little bit earlier in our conversation. I have a contractor, and I've said this story to other contractors. When he sits in front of a homeowner, he offers the 4 for 10 deal. And what he does is he offers a 10-year parts, 10-year labor, 10-year maintenance, and a 10-year unit replacement on warranty. So the best part about this deal is he's a Goodman dealer, but as a Goodman dealer, we rebate his extended service agreements back to him. We give him 10 years, so he gets the 10-year labor for free. 10-year parts is included. 10-year unit replacement is included anything 16 SEER 2-speed and above for all of our Goodman products. So if that compressor ever fails, he gets a newer unit for 10 years. All he had to do was include his 10-year maintenance agreement, and we covered the rest. But if you offered 4 for 10 to a homeowner, it's really tough for that homeowner to go, I have to buy from this guy. I'm never going to get a deal like this from anybody else.
Yeah. So have you seen, I feel like there's another side, to the club or the membership as well that you could get where you're like you were saying, like a newsletter specifically for, those members. Have you seen any other like marketing or branding stuff on that side that people have done?
The marketing has just changed so much. It's funny. I come across sales guys in the HVAC world that used to be yellow page sales guys. And there was a point in time where those are the most aggressive people in the world. They wouldn't leave your office. They would come in. Remember the good old days of yellow pages? They'd come in and give you a 2-page ad for an HVAC contractor. It's $1,000. The next year, it's $20,000. They just got you. They're holding them. And there's nothing they could do. Those days are gone. And now it's really moved into social media and online marketing. And we talked about accrual funds earlier in the call. And so you get to the end of the year and you say to yourself, I've got $5,000 or $10,000 sitting in my account. What do I do? And you call somebody like you, Eric, and say, I really want to do it. And for me, I go, we need to put this in SEO and really help grow your brand online. So I can't say it enough. As a contractor, we need to have a solid digital platform website, Facebook, Instagram, all these things, and to really, help grow their brands. So I have, the good old days of, sending out the flyers and stuff are important. I think, you need to touch your homeowners all the time, but also, the key is you really want to get access to their email address, and everything they do, get access to email. And so that's really going to help you in your business. So put the money in SEO, make sure you got a nice website. It's a great place to start.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think the website, the SEO, and the email list, those are the three, I think, in my opinion, three of the most important things you can do as a contractor if you're starting out. There's a new mini segment on the podcast coming out soon that I don't want to spoil yet. But I talk about this a little bit then. And the topic of one of the episodes is don't build your house on rented land. And so I guess obviously everyone knows earlier last week, like Facebook and Instagram went down. And everybody who had invested all their eggs into that basket were stuck without a platform to talk to their customers on. And so that's where it was like, you need to be investing in your email list, because Google could shut down tomorrow, but you still have your emails. You still have your ability to contact these people. Facebook could crash, Instagram could crash, but you'll still have your website. So stuff like that, like making sure that the efforts that you put into marketing are brand related as well. I mean, lead generation is great. Paying for ads is great for quick leads and phone calls, but you want to make sure that you're building a foundation as well.
I couldn't agree more. The thing is, like, basically you're saying spread out your marketing funds. There's a lot of people out here to help you as a contractor. You're great at installing equipment. You run a great business. Your team is right behind you, but you didn't grow up in the world of marketing. Maybe you did, but if you didn't, there are so many assets out there in this marketplace to really help you grow your business. You gentlemen like yourself, Eric, and there's just so many people that really want to say, listen, I can help you with this website. We can really help you grow your brand and really generate more leads on your platform currently.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Shawn, before we wrap up, I'd love to give you the opportunity to, I guess, tell any of the listeners anything interesting they may need to know about Goodman or about Liberty or about any of that stuff. So here's your open opportunity to plug what you guys do and what makes you different.
Well, I appreciate that, Eric. Thanks for the time today. It's been great to talk to you and your listeners for sure. So listen, as you grow your brand and your business and you want to really keep moving forward, talk to your local Goodman, Amana, Daikin dealer. And we're always out there to help you guys grow your brand. And the key is with us, you're the brand, not us. We want you guys to grow your business. And we know that the more you grow and the more you get successful, you're going to buy equipment from us. And we're really here to stand behind our equipment. And understand all the Goodman warranties for any of our product lines are owned at the factory. So we don't outsource any of our warranties. Everything's owned at the factory. And we grew this business based upon contractors. So Goodman used to be a contractor. That's where he came from. And we're only here to help you guys grow your brands.
Awesome. Well, Shawn, what's a good way for our listeners to get a hold of you if they want to learn more or just connect with you in general?
I'd love for them to send me an email. My name is Shawn.Brady@GoodmanMFG.com. That's awesome. Shawn.Brady@GoodmanMFG.com. Thanks,
awesome.
Eric.
Shawn, yep. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks so much, guys.